Welcome to Heart Talk, a candid talk show with real people involved in the business of hospitality.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the sixth episode of the Hard Talk with Receptio, that show where we delve a little deep and try to understand the sentiments surrounding business leaders in hospitality. Today, I have the pleasure of speaking with Mr. Roshan Xavier. Roshan has been in the food game for over 10 years, and today he is the founder and curator at Giselle Restocafe in Kamanahar. I want to talk to Roshan today about his journey. Why food? And what about food made him stick with the industry for 10 years? And why did he start this restaurant? More importantly, I'm going to talk to him a little bit about his headspace. Where is he today and what is he doing to figure out what Giselle means in today's current situation? Plus, also, what are they doing to prepare themselves for the future? All this and more in today's episode. So please do stay tuned so that I'm going to give it over to Roshan and he can answer all of these questions himself. Stay tuned. We'll be live very soon. Ladies and gentlemen, we are live now. So for whoever's watching, Roshan, I just wanted to start off by saying hello. How's it going? And dive straight into it. So Roshan, my first question to you would be is that I want to talk to Roshan, the man. Forget Giselle, forget the businessman. Just you personally, how are you doing? How things going, and how you staying positive during these times?
Uh, I think it's the same for everyone, right? I think everyone's going through a really bad phase right now. Everyone, whether it be your personal life, whether it be your business and professional life and stuff like that, right? Because at the age group that all of us are at, we have parents that are above the age of 50 to 60,
Yes,
and
yeah,
more concern about what's going to happen to them. If we are stepping out, we are trying to get our lives on track, right? Start the restaurant,
yeah,
get things running and stuff like that. Coming back home is always a worry whether we're putting them on risk, right?
absolutely.
So I think personally, it's more of a fear. See, honestly speaking, if things have to happen to us, it will. But we don't want to be in a position that something goes wrong to someone else because of us, right? And that's what I think is running through most of our heads right now.
I can definitely resonate with that, specifically, like you said, for people in our age group, we're constantly trying to get things back to normal. But you're right, there are people back at home that we do sort of need to look out for, right?
Correct.
So now, so Roshan, I just want just for our audience, can you talk to us a little bit about your career and your journey and how this entire thing started for you?
So Giselle is like my first official restaurant, right? So that's the first cafe that we've actually set up. So before this, I used to do a
Okay,
lot of baking and cooking at home and things of that sort. So it's always been in
I
a
see.
process, and recipe development and things of that sort happened at home. So I
Okay,
think we officially started the construction of this place in the year 2016. So we started by making every single thing that is in the cafe by ourselves. So all your chairs, your tables, and everything were actually manufactured here. So we wanted to make
wow.
sure that we had our roots set up properly. So we wanted to make sure that
Okay.
we put our hands into as much as possible, to make sure that we control every element at Giselle, right? So business-wise, it was. I don't think it was that smart of a move. But then, considering the fact that this was a passion-heavy project, it felt right to us back then, and we still feel right about it today because we know every nook and corner of this restaurant, how it's set up, how things have gone into making everything that you see right now, and what we call as Giselle Resto Cafe. Like every single thing has been set up part by part, place by place. And then I think we started out on 2017 October is what we started out.
Okay.
We started official dining and we started having foods that were sent out on your online platforms and everything that started somewhere in October. It's been a fun journey this far,
That's great.
and yeah, I think everyone will agree that the situation is such that we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow,
Sure.
but we are happy that we have reached where we are today.
That's great. So, can you talk to me a little bit more about your personal journey as a businessman and as an entrepreneur? I'm talking pre Giselle. What brought this about?
So I had a corporate job. I was a HR in a company. So the thing is that I don't know what to say. So it's more like, like I said, so this was something that we were working on. I was working on personally from when I was in school.
Wow.
And
Okay.
I'm grateful that I had people who supported me all my life. So, because of which I was able to step out of what I was doing and to start what I am doing right now.
Right.
And so it was basically, I take care of the kitchen at Giselle. Most of the food recipes and everything that you get out of Giselle is mine.
Okay.
So we made sure that we have control on that aspect as well to make sure that the food is in good hands. Basically, it shouldn't vary when people are coming in and going, right? So we all these recipes and everything that we have set up was over a span of, I don't know, man, from I think from 10th standard. That's like really long ago.
Wow, that's great.
So
That's
and
amazing.
the whole dream was built on chicken wings. And I mean,
Wow.
we started off with one stuff that we started off with, and then to what we are today. It has been a crazy ride.
Right.
Lot of other places that we had to visit every time, going out eating food, whether it be in
Yeah.
Bangalore, whether it be anywhere else in the world. Wherever we've gone, we've always tried food. We've always made sure that we bring back something from there to what we serve here. That's how
Right.
we've handled Giselle as a business, as Giselle as a restaurant and stuff like that.
That's fantastic. So I mean, I'd say that, a key sort of driving point for you to start a business would be food and more specifically chicken wings. Yeah.
Correct, definitely.
That's amazing. That's
Definitely,
amazing.
yeah.
So, I mean, it's great to know that that one favorite food of yours can actually blossom into something so fantastic and big, right? So,
Definitely, definitely.
that's kick ass. That's kick ass. For all our audience, whoever really likes some sort of particular item, there you go. I mean, there's a future in hospitality for you.
Definitely, 100%. I mean, like, that should be the reason for you to get into what you have to, but then after you get into what you have to is when you realize there are 1,000 different criteria that come into play. Then you
Right.
learn it out of experience and try to adapt accordingly. That's what we did. That's what we did exactly with Giselle as well. So
Okay.
there was, I mean, see, the biggest problem that most of the restaurants face is staffing, right? So
Yeah.
you have one chef that's working for you, and that chef is making sure that the food is going out in a particular way. Then you get another chef that's working for you, and that chef is like sending out the food in a different way. Of course, you'll have your standard operation procedures, you'll have your
Yeah.
recipe set, and all those things are there. But then it always lacks that touch, right? That human touch that
Yeah.
makes sure that the food is the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
And that is what we wanted to make sure that we do not have as a problem in Giselle. And that is the
Right.
reason that we took our time. We built our menu, we built our recipes over these years that we've been operational, plus the few years before we were operational. All of those things, these are the criteria that we set for Giselle as a restaurant, right?
Okay.
And again, when it comes to anyone else, also it's the same thing. It's like I would say, follow your heart and see where your pockets land, right? Yeah.
Right, right. That's great. So, I mean, on the topic of your menu, I was doing a little bit of research. Actually, it's my colleague who had initially come and met you, and
Correct,
I think this is the
correct,
first time I'm having the pleasure of actually speaking to you face to face.
correct.
I wish it was actually happening face to face, but what to do? I mean,
Yeah,
circumstances are like this.
yeah.
So, with regards to your menu, I see that it's quite vast. I mean, I see that you have various different types of cuisines, from Indian to Thai to Italian. So, what inspired this? What inspired such a well-rounded menu for you?
So, see, the thought process between setting up menu were two things. Okay, so one is we wanted a place where a family would want to come out to and have a dinner or a lunch or whatever, and make sure that everyone on the table is as satisfied as possible, right? So the thing is that
Okay.
if we have typical Indian parents. So when we go out with our parents, I would love to eat a steak any day of the week. And if I'm going to eat a steak any day of the week, my mother is definitely not going to be eating a steak, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
she and the only other option if you go to a steakhouse is going to be pasta. And she
Yeah.
will make the longest face that is there possible to eat the pasta, right? And
Right.
I know for a fact that she's not enjoying what she's eating. And we are out as a family. We want to make sure that everyone has a good time, right? So our thought process was like, okay, let's make sure that there is something for everyone without making our food costs so high, without having bulk amount of things that have to be prepped and kept and things of that sort. We need to make sure that we find a balance in the menu where even if it's a child or even if it's a 70-year-old man or woman who wants to eat something, we have something for everyone.
So yeah, I wanted to ask you, what is your favorite item on your menu?
Chicken wings.
Chicken wings, fantastic.
Definitely, definitely chicken wings. We do five sauces on it, and we are a cafe, and every single patron that we have who walks in through the door tells us that the only thing that's missing is beer.
Okay.
Our food is perfectly complementing it, but then yeah,
Okay.
we do not want to get into the alcohol business. We want to just make sure that we're just sticking to the cafe business, right? Because that comes with
Right.
its own set of problems, and
Absolutely.
we're no way ready to tackle them right now. So
Sure.
we might as well just stick to this. So yeah, chicken wings. I make them in five sauces, and that's really nice.
What sauces do you make them in?
We make our barbecue sauce. So we make a smoked barbecue sauce at Giselle. We make a ginger teriyaki sauce at Giselle. We make a sriracha sauce. So we make our own sriracha sauce as well
Right.
at Giselle. And we have our signature sauce called the Giselle sauce, obviously.
That's great.
Yeah, the Giselle sauce. So
I mean,
so Giselle sauce is actually the sauce that started it all, right? So that is the first sauce of chicken wings that I made back when I was in 10th standard.
wow. Okay.
That
That's
is
great. So I'm actually a big fan of chicken wings myself, so I can't wait.
yeah,
Definitely to once things blow, I'll visit Giselle with my team, and we shall all sit down and have some chicken wings, right?
definitely.
So, Roshan, what's more important to you as a restaurant owner? Is it food or is it the service?
Food.
Food, without a
Food.
doubt.
Food without a doubt. See, because the thing is that see, your service basically, you would like to be welcomed. You would like to have your whole entire, the way people treat you and things of that sort. 100% that goes a long way as well. But my personal experience for me, right? When I go to a place, however good your service is, if your food doesn't back it up, there's no point in me going back there the second time, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Because see, honestly speaking, service automatically happens. We will
Right.
not hire a server that is going to be rude to the customer. We will have our procedures that are set in place on how the waiter has to treat the customer. So that irrespective of wherever you go, any cafe, any restaurant, they've got their own way on making sure that the customer is comfortable, right? So that will
Yeah.
happen irrespective. But your food is the one that is going to do all the talking. So
Yeah.
for me, it's
Yeah.
always going to be food. It's
Great.
it has to go that way, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, especially the point about, the customer having to come back. Like
Correct.
for me personally, I'll definitely tell you that, some of the places that I visit the most often are the places that have the tastiest food. So
True.
that I completely agree with you on that. So Roshan, I mean, what in your opinion? And I know that the Kamanali market has a lot of fantastic restaurants and cafes. What is really unique about that market for you? Why did you decide to open up in Kamanali?
See, the thing is that see a place like this, like the concept that I wanted to do. You've not seen Giselle, so
I'm
you
not,
wouldn't.
unfortunately.
Yeah, you wouldn't know why exactly I chose this location in particular. See, if you actually see behind,
Right.
right? So there, we are. I think we are a 70-seater restaurant with
Okay.
half of it on the outdoor seating. And I've got good bamboos growing around me. I've got trees around me and things of that sort. So for me, basically, it was supposed to be. So it's a theme that we set, right? It's a theme that we wanted to follow with regards to Giselle, and that is the reason that we chose this market in the first place. And second, it is that see, now we have big players in the market. Like we've got Truffles in Kamnali, we've got other people that have opened up in Kamnali, right? At that point of time when we opened up, the people didn't really have a perfect spot to go to,
Yeah.
whether it be family, whether it be a younger crowd and stuff like that. We didn't really have a proper hangout kind of a place in Kamnali. we actually chose this place.
Right.
Again, the location of the place is a little towards the inside. We are
Okay.
not on the main road. We are not inside. We are inside a layout called Munshi layout, right? So if the only way to explain or justify my location is if you visit the place, you'll know
Sure.
why exactly we have set up a cafe in this place.
So in the initially, I think in Jan, when my colleague Faisal had come and met you, when he came back, I just asked him, so how did it go, and how's the place and everything. So I had obviously seen photographs of the place on Zomato and things like that. But then what he told me at the time, he told me, dude, the photos don't do justice. It's such a beautiful location, and he specifically mentioned that. And since he's a much younger guy, and he's the kind of guy who would probably go and hang out with his friends and things like that. He's like, that's a fantastic place, man. I'd definitely see me and my friends sort of hanging out there. It's quiet, it's calm, it's nice, and it's beautiful. So that's great. I mean, I think that your location is definitely a crowd puller in that sense, right?
Right.
So now, I mean, since dining in has been impacted, right, because of the whole coronavirus pandemic, what kind of innovations have you looked into? Are there things that you guys are doing differently? What's the current situation like?
See, honestly speaking, we did try putting out a digital menu out there for the customers to have a look at. We did make sure that, of course, our safety standard procedures that we do are the same, right? So our table is
Right,
sanitized and maintained. It's exactly the same that we used to do. Difference
right.
being that now when we have customers that are walking in, so we make sure that they occupy the alternate tables that are there, and we also make sure that a table that you use on this particular day. So let's just say that I am sitting on this table right now. No one else is allowed to sit on this table for the next whole day because the whole place is maintained
Okay,
overnight again. Okay.
got it, got
So
it.
this is the small ways that we're trying to make sure that we have proper safety and standard procedures. Of course, there's a lot of guidelines that has been given that we are following. But apart from that, our way of handling things is this. So we've seen a lot of
Right.
people, have tables that are, alternate tables to be occupied and things of that sort. So our policy was we are really not packed during the weekdays. So we usually do this. So usually what we do is one table used by one set of people. That's all. No one else is let to be seated on the table. Even though we
Understood.
sanitize it, even though we do all our routine stuff, we are not allowing anyone to sit on that. With regards to a digital menu, we ask people to use them, but honestly speaking, I do not know how well it's going for other customers, other restaurants. But for us, our customers, most of them are like, they're like, just give me a menu, right?
Sure.
So we give them a menu, we give them plastic gloves to go through it, rubber gloves to go through it rather. And once they're done with it, we dispose of the gloves, then we re-sanitize the menus and we leave it out there. Your payment and payment collections, we are taking through maximum through Google Pay and cards also we're trying to make sure that we use the ones which has the Wi-Fi emblem on it, right? The one which you don't
Yeah,
need a card
yeah,
and stuff like that, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
things of that sort is what we're trying to do to make sure that try and try. See, honestly speaking, you can take all the precautions that you have to.
Yeah.
Uh, it is completely based on the customers that walk in there. Because
Right.
we usually have a lot of crowd that comes in for the for birthday celebrations, things of that sort. So they are the most difficult ones to control because
Yeah.
they go
Yeah.
around the whole place taking photographs and things of that sort. So that
Correct.
becomes a hassle for us to control. But apart from that, when we have families or couples or anyone walking in, they usually sit, they do their stuff on the same table, whatever, and they leave. That's the
Okay.
things that we can do
Right.
as a business, as a restaurant. Yeah.
That's great. So that's actually that's a fantastic segue into my next question, right? And this is like a burning question that I personally have, and that is, what is your opinion on contactless dining? Do you think that that's even a thing?
I have no opinions on it, man. Because honestly speaking,
I want to hear them.
no, because I work in the kitchen, right?
Yeah,
And in
yeah,
fact, see, contactless dining. I don't know how it is possible, right? So, like, I don't know about people who have already signed up on it with Zomato and things of that sort. I really don't know how it works for them. But for me, see, we are in the kitchen, we are using masks, we are using shields, we are using gloves. Okay,
Yeah.
that is if we are cooking on the range. But when we are making our pizzas, most of the chefs who make pizzas will understand that, especially if we make wood fire here, especially if you're making wood fire pizzas, we do not use rubber gloves on our hands.
You cannot,
Because
yes.
it's the temperature is somewhere at 400 degrees Celsius that will melt and stick onto your hand, right?
Yeah.
So, things of that sort. See, at the end of the day, as much as you would say contactless dining, see, we will take all as restaurants. And I'm saying not only for Giselle, I'm talking about all the restaurants in Bangalore, all the restaurants in India, in fact, right? All of us have a set procedure that we have got from the government and how we need to follow it. And we already have our sanitizations in place in way before COVID times itself. We know how
Yeah.
our plates have to be sanitized, our cutlery have to be sanitized. We've all followed these procedures all through these times, right? And when it comes to actually having that whole experience of contactless dining, I do not think that's going to be possible. Like, honestly speaking,
Yeah.
uh, we tried. So, like I said, right before, we did have an online menu that was there, but then people wanted the menu in hand. And even if
Yeah.
they did opt for the menu online, they want to ask details about this particular dish, right? However good a description you put underneath your item, people are going to still question you about it. There are going to be things that they will require. There are going to be questions that they want to ask the servers. There are going to be things of that sort. So you will have certain amount of contact that you will definitely have.
Yeah.
But
Absolutely.
then again, like we said, the procedures that we have, that we are going to say, okay, we're going to stand away from the table. The guy is wearing a mask, he's wearing a face shield, he's wearing gloves. Those procedures we have set.
Yeah.
So that's how I think that's going to work, according to me.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely on the same page as you on that. For me personally, I don't think that contactless dining is a thing. I mean,
Yeah.
especially, and I've been following the way that contactless dining has been marketed from day one. It's so unrealistic inside a restaurant setting. How can anything happening from the time that your food is prepared till the time that the food is delivered on the table? How can it be contactless? This is not a possibility. I think that contactless dining, I mean, as a concept, what they want to try to achieve, or whatever, these procedures that they want to try to achieve is have as less contact as possible and have as much
Yeah.
distance as possible. It cannot be contactless. And I think
Yes,
that,
that is 100% followed, and
yeah,
everyone follows it.
of course, and
You know,
I'm pretty sure, like you said, these are sanitization measures and hygiene measures. These are all followed even before COVID. I don't think that
correct.
COVID really has anything to do with in terms of hygiene at
It is
least.
just, yeah. Even before COVID times, the boys in the kitchen usually wear masks, right? Because
Exactly. Yeah.
we work with chili, we work with things that go up, so
Correct. Correct. Yeah.
people
Yeah.
have the tendency to sneeze. So, as even before we had all this, we used to make sure that they were wearing masks. We were making sure that
Right.
all your vegetables and all your non-veg items are cut into separate boards. You have your gloves to handle all of these things. That was already there. That was the procedure that we always followed. The only major difference between those days, pre-COVID and post, is that, the chances of you getting an infection is going to be from other customers that walk into the restaurant,
Correct.
more than the people that are working in the restaurant, because we followed all of these things before, we still are following all of these things before. So when you
Yeah.
have that whole entire thing of making sure that your tables are socially distanced, you have that distance between all your tables, you're not really in a crowded space, you have your distance as maintained with other customers and you, I think as far as that is maintained, that is the safest that we all can be, right?
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
that as far as my understanding goes, I think that should suffice.
Absolutely, I
Make sure
agree
that
with you.
make sure that you protect yourself in the way you have to, and make sure that we can give you as much as protection that we can.
That's great.
As a restaurant, that's what we're doing.
I think that's I mean that's the most realistic way to look at it. In fact, and if you remember, see this whole contactless dining sort of that lingo came out when the panic was so high. This was early March and things like that. So yeah, I guess I mean everyone's just trying to do what they got to do. Uh,
To survive.
yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, with that in mind, Roshan, I'm sure that you've seen a lot of additional costs on your restaurant now, right? Because first and foremost, you guys have had to be shut for a very long time, and more than that, to ensure that you guys have additional safety and hygiene measures. How hard has this impacted your bottom line, and what sort of plans do you have to overcome this?
See, it has impacted us, of course, because the amount of chemicals that you use for sanitizing, or your regular hand sanitizer that we buy for the customers, and your solutions that you use to sanitize your kitchen and all of those things, the cost of that has definitely gone higher.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
as a restaurant, like for us right now, we have not really taken that cost into consideration, that what it is affecting our bottom line and we should do something about it or charge the customer for it and stuff like that. Because honestly speaking, we are just happy with having people walk in and trust us and make have lunch or have dinner here and go. And what we make at the end of the day, of course, it's business. Of course, we need to make a money. But
Right.
as a person, I personally feel there's more to it than just money, right?
Absolutely.
There's
Yeah.
there's more to this than thing. Like right now, for me, I think we would be spending roughly between 10 to 15,000 rupees on things to make sure that everything is sanitized. Every night we're spraying it down. Every table comes and go, we're spraying it down. Your door handles, your maximum contact points have been wiped down and sanitized, and all of those things. We've been spending that much. I think we opened on the 8th of June, and then we had to
Right.
shut again, of course. But
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I think we would have spent that much on it. But then we are not really considering that cost to add on to the customer, and we are just happy that there are at least so many people who are actually stepping out right now and supporting restaurants like us, and
Yeah,
restaurants
yeah.
in general. We all need the support, right? Restaurants
Sure.
in general, that should be enough for all of us. I think that should be fine for us.
That's so amazing to hear. I mean, it's really nice to know that just your own personal satisfaction of having people trust you and come
Yeah,
just to experience the food again. That's great, and that brings a certain amount of joy to you as a person who's actually delivering these experiences. And again, so in terms of support, you mentioned your customers supporting you. What kind of how considerate has your entire ecosystem been during this entire time with regards to your vendors, landlords, and so on?
so, see, the thing with vendors is, I think we have a lot of outstandings. We still have a recovery that we have to do from the time of closure. And
Yeah,
honestly saying, with the outstandings that we have, it should take us a good 2 months of good business to make sure that we are able to clear out all these things, right? So
yeah,
some of our vendors have been really supportive. Like they have made sure that we are, even though the outstandings are there, we have not paid for the outstandings. They've made sure that they've sent in fresh stock because they've got stock lying around or whatever. They made sure that
correct,
we
correct,
have our
correct.
supplies, we have our things in place for us to function, right? So they have been very supportive. Most of them have. Some of them, of course, are very demanding, especially when it comes to your meat vendors. We are very strict on that. So I personally
Yeah,
go and make sure that I see these guys cut the chicken for me and give it to me. All right, because I want to make sure that these guys are wearing masks at the time. I want to make sure that these
understood.
guys are using gloves at the time. We did have to change a couple. We had to remove a couple of meat vendors after the
Okay.
COVID time because we found them not doing what is necessary to make sure that the meat reaches us properly. And then we
Yeah,
found other vendors that are there, and then we decided that either me or anyone from my team would go there and make sure that we pick up the chicken and come ourselves, so
sure.
to make sure that these guys are handling it properly. Because more than anything, more than putting only the customers on risk, we're putting ourselves on risk, right? When we're handling the
Yeah,
meat and things of that sort.
correct.
So our vendors wise, we try to sort it out that way, and luckily we've not had any issues. Apart from maybe our electricity bills going up, I think a whole bangalore knows that happened. So apart from that, apart from
Yeah,
that, we've been okay.
that's
That's it.
good. That's great. That's great. That's good to know. So, I mean, Roshan, now being a person who's been in the game for a while now, and you've had your own set of customers and things like that. What kind of consumer trends are you seeing? Making a shift right now. Just overall
Yeah,
relationship
so
between.
so I think the takeaways have gone higher right now. We have more takeaway orders nowadays than we've had before.
And
The
when,
takeaways, yeah,
sorry, when you
the
say
takeaways
takeaway,
they come pick up and go.
yes, okay, yeah,
Not Swiggy and Zomato. We've had people who come pick up and go more these days than Swiggy and Zomato deliveries. That is a recent trend that's happened. So people who like the food, people want to eat from here, they come here, they pre-order, give us a call, they order, they come, they collect it and go. That's
right,
one that's been happening. Second is that we've been blessed with a lot of repeat customers. So we
right,
have customers who are above the age of 50 who come with their families and stuff like that. We have not seen them come back over the period of one month that we've been open. Right, we've not seen them come back. Of course, the fear is still there. So that is one more thing that is there. More amount of people that are stepping out are the younger crowd who's basically very frustrated sitting at home right now. So we've seen that
yeah,
happen. We have seen an increased number of people who want to sit and work from here as well.
okay,
We've
okay,
seen people sit here and work. We've seen them sit and order meals in, which we've not seen when we had, because we fall under a restaurant more than a cafe. So, we've had only crowd that comes and eat and goes. We never had crowd that stayed throughout the day and stuff like that. So we've seen people do that now.
right, right. That's
Those are the small
interesting.
trends. Yeah, those are the small changes that we're seeing happening.
Right. So, do you think that something like direct booking is going to be a big thing? Probably now or maybe in the future, where I don't want to rely on Swiggy or Zomato. I know you. I'm your customer already. So either over a phone call or maybe a Giselle app or maybe on your website itself, I come, place my orders, and then I get a notification, or you say, "Hey, it's ready. Come pick it up." Do you think that
I think, yeah,
this can be a big thing?
yeah, I'll agree with that because like I just said, right? So I think when we opened, we really didn't have so many people that came in, placed orders, picked up the food, and gone. But
Right.
from the 8th of June that we reopened now after the lockdown, I would say that almost every day we have at least three, four customers just coming and picking up food and going.
Wow, that's
So
amazing.
they don't want it to go through Swiggy. They don't want it to go through Dunzo. They don't want it to go through Zomato. They want to come and pick food up themselves. And these
Right.
are customers that have been like, see, honestly speaking, I wouldn't have customers that are just passing by my restaurant who want to eat because the location is
Yeah,
just
yeah,
5 minutes
yeah.
away. These are
Yeah.
people who come here for the food and who have come here before. So they
Got
come, they
it.
place an order, they come pick it up and go themselves. I think
Right.
more and more when we start to look at things of this, things like this happening, I think more restaurants would want to have their own delivery system soon,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
Instead of actually having pay high commissions to Swiggy, Zomato, and all your delivery apps. I feel that there are going to be more restaurants who just buy a bike and have an employee who's going to go around
One
delivering
boy,
food.
yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
delivering food because we've seen that trend happening a lot. Like
Right.
that's the way I think it's going to go for some time.
I think another thing, like you said, is that youngsters, especially people our age, they want to get out anyways, and I think that
Correct.
if I have to swiggy it, then I have no reason to leave my house. Whereas if I know that the restaurant, my favorite restaurant, is close by, I don't mind taking a quick drive or a walk or something like that, picking up my food and coming back. So I think that that's quite an interesting consumer trend that you've actually identified.
Correct. That's
Just
happening.
want Yeah, I just wanted to pause there, Roshan. We have a nice comment for you left by one of our viewers. So Varsha Reddy says that Giselle has an amazing outdoor setting, especially the big round tree table.
Yeah.
So there you have it, right? So
That's my biggest table. So we've got a table that's for like around it's a 10-seater table.
okay,
We have a tree in the center of it. So I
nice.
think we've hosted around 20 bachelorettes till now, and
Wow, wow.
we've had birthday parties that happen everywhere, including yesterday we had a birthday party there. So that's like a small
Okay,
enclosed place kind of a thing. So we put the bigger crowds towards that table, so that
right.
there's no disturbance to them, nor do they disturb the others that are sitting there. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm very much looking forward to coming and checking that out. I mean, again, just for the past 2 days, when I've been looking, a lot about Giselle and your website and stuff like that. I see that it's very visually appealing. Uh, so in fact, the other day I spoke with a guy named Anudeep Reddy. So yeah, so Anudeep and me were colleagues, a long time ago when I was with Fraud. So I just spoke to him also, and he also told me that yeah, just that's just an amazing place. So
yeah,
I'm very very much looking forward to coming and visiting sometime.
definitely you should.
So Roshan, tell me about your day. What goes on, on a daily basis at Giselle? How are you managing? How are you and your team managing to be functional today?
Today, okay, we are functioning with exactly three staff and me, right?
Okay, okay,
Four of us running the
nice
whole
lean
entire
team.
restaurant. Yeah, four of us
Right.
running the whole entire restaurant. And the biggest challenge that we have right now is see, previously we were able to say, okay, today is a Friday. I know for a fact my sales is going to be this high. I know I'm going to get that much of income. But after we opened on the 8th, we are not able to predict our sales. We're not able to predict our thing, right? So all of our recipes, including the sauce, including a barbecue sauce that you want to have at Giselle, like on your wings or whatever you're going to have it, we're making it fresh every day, right?
Right.
We are not storing anything, we are not freezing anything. So come in the morning, you have six burners with six pots making six different types of sauces. You have your meat. I usually pick it up before I come to the restaurant, so I pick it up and I come to the restaurant. We are on the process of cleaning it and marinating it and doing whatever has to be done for it to be really nice at the end of the day. So
Yeah.
we sit. So our prep time has increased a lot more than what we usually do. So we have a lot more time that we spend in making stuff ready for it to be served
Right.
before compared to now. And that's how we start our day. Then
Right.
based on your orders, based on your things, we usually do it. So I'm one of these restaurateurs. I don't know how many of them will agree with me, but see, I like to be honest, straight to my customers who are walking in. So I have a signboard on the entrance that clearly states that we are working with only four staff. Your food is going to be slow, your service is going to be
Yeah.
slow, but we will
Right.
ensure that we give you the best quality and the same taste that you've come here before for.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we've
Yeah.
put it straight like on paper on the thing, and we've made sure that
Perfect.
people know about it, right? So of course our food comes out of the kitchen much slower because there's just two of us who cook. That's my sous chef and me. So that's the only two of us that cook, right? And one guy for service and one guy for cleaning the pots and stuff like that. So we put our hands into everything to make sure that we get everything prepped and kept in the morning. That our operations go out smoother. And
Right.
also compared to previous times, if you actually have come to Giselle, you'll find more things out of stock now than it was before. Because
Nice.
honestly speaking, it's usually being sold out, right? So today we've
Yeah.
got some orders for the evening, and we've prepped everything and we have kept everything ready for the orders in the evening. And once that is done, we're done. So I am not going to order chicken from Dunzo or anything like on an emergency basis.
Yeah.
We've
Yeah.
already
Yeah.
got orders.
Yeah.
We don't want to risk it. So we make sure
Yeah.
that we control as much as possible. That is a anything. And previously also we used to. So during the lockdown time, we had I don't know how many people are watching right now, but during the lockdown time, we had really like we had such good help and support from all of our customers.
That's
Okay,
great.
we were able to after we were allowed to open kitchens for deliveries, we opened kitchens for deliveries we were able to sell 3,000 odd buns. Okay, these are packed like
Wow.
with chicken and potatoes and beef. So either one of it,
Right.
we were able to sell close to around 3,000 buns, all handmade by us
Right.
and baked in a brick oven. So we had beautiful support from the whole entire uh, Giselle family, extended family, our customers, and things of that
Nice.
sort.
Nice.
So through that process of making these buns, we were able to understand that there's no necessity for us to purchase buns. We are again avoiding a whole entire risk factor by having someone else supply things to us. So we
Yeah,
started making
yeah.
our own buns. So
Right.
we in the morning we start with your dough for your buns, and we make sure that it's done and ready. We prep everything up and keep, and then wait for people to walk in. That's how our day goes.
That's nice. That's so. I really love that point that you said about the support that your customers have given you, and the fact that you call them you're part of your extended family. That's such a beautiful way to number one put it, and number two look at it. And I really like the point that you made about being so honest and open with your customers, saying, "Hey, man, look, we're working with four people. Our service may be slow, but you can ensure that you're getting the absolute best quality food," which sort of confirms what you said in the beginning of this conversation, that it's all about the food. So that's great. I'm pretty sure that all of your customers who are watching right now will be very happy to hear that, and I'm happy to
Definitely.
put the word out on that as well. That's something that I personally want to champion a lot. So Roshan, in your opinion, do you think that the whole culture, especially us being Bangaloreans and being in Bangalore City, the culture of going out to restaurants and going out, do you think that that's changed permanently, or do you think that this is just a very temporary thing?
No, I think it's just a temporary thing. Honestly speaking, I think it's just going to be a temporary phase right now.
Hmm.
And people are scared, and rightly so.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it's good for you guys to sit inside right now. It's good for you guys to stay away from people in big crowds. 100% agree with it. But I know us, right? We are Bangaloreans after all. We're not going to
Yeah.
sit all in one place.
Not at all.
We
Yeah.
definitely want to go. We definitely want to go to a pub and definitely 100% have a pint sometime soon.
Definitely.
And
I agree with
honestly
you on
speaking,
that.
I feel sad for all of my friends who own pubs because they are in a very bad situation, right? But it's for the better, is what even they say. Like, I have friends who own a few pubs in Indranagar and stuff like that. So even they tell me that it's better for them to be closed right now. Why risk it, right?
Yeah,
All
yeah.
these guys they're struggling, but they're trying to hold, their calm and make sure that a better future is ahead for us.
That's great. That's great. So to all the Bangaloreans out there who is watching, rest assured that all the restaurant owners who are who set up all these beautiful places to give you these experiences, all of them are in the mindset that this is temporary and we will be back in full swing. I think that that's a great I think that's an appropriate summation
And we're
of what you just
100%
said.
sure the Bangalore boys will support us also. Yeah?
100%.
100% sure. I mean, like, how many
That's
of us
great.
want to go? We just want to go to Ticos, or we want to go to, new
Yeah.
places that open up, things that we've actually born and brought up with, like our first
Yeah.
from school, bunking colleges,
Yeah.
and we want to definitely have all these things back, right?
Of
So it's
course.
definitely going to
I
be
completely
something
agree
good.
with you. Yeah, I think that I'm very much on the same mindset with you. This is temporary. It's a little, it's annoying now. It's depressing now, but it's now, not
Exactly.
forever. And I'm very happy that I'm able to resonate that with you. What kind of business models do you think is going to come out of this entire thing, Roshan? Just to get a little bit more, to talk a little bit more about business. In terms of business models, do you think that there are going to be a lot more new types of models for restaurants itself?
Definitely. So I think that as of now, see, like I said, there are going to be people who want to go out hopefully pretty soon and make sure that they go out and have your own fun, eat your own food, meet your people, and all of those things are definitely going to happen. But as of now, a takeaway kind of a setup, it's working. It's working. It's been working for us as well.
Yeah.
And a setup like that will actually do good. More than that, I would see restaurants and most of the places that used to be really crowded and stuff like that. I really think they're going to cut down on their employees because honestly speaking, the amount of people that are actually going to go out right now is going to be much lesser than what it used to be. And
Yeah.
I could see people, and we really have no crowd. Almost all of our northeast people have gone back home. So crowd wise, I can see things like that happening. Business model wise, I would see cloud kitchens and takeaways for restaurants increasing more. That's what I would feel would happen.
Okay. Okay. So definitely new opportunities is going to arise out of
Definitely there
this.
is, yeah, definitely. Every
Okay.
pandemic is an opportunity, right?
Definitely. Yeah. 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 Certainly. Certainly. So, Roshan, what are your top three priorities? Let's say, for example, next week, everything just becomes normal. Everything goes back to normal. People are swarming into your restaurants. People are out. People are enjoying. What are your top three priorities when Giselle opens up for the public properly?
See, it's always going to be same. So we've always made sure that we had, like I said in the beginning itself, our priority is definitely going to be our food,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
See, there are certain things like, as a chef, there will be certain things that I would say, like, for example, the amount of food that we prep and keep, right? We don't want this to go to waste. So because of that, there are certain things we might not do. Like let
Sure.
us say, for example, a whipped cream, right? So if you're using dairy whipped cream that is there, it has a shelf life of maybe like 2 to 3 days. You keep it in the fridge. After that, if your fridge, I mean, based on the fridge temperature, if it freezes, it's gone. If it gets spoiled, it's gone. There are so many things that we'll have to throw out and stuff like that, which I'm pretty sure most of the restaurants are not really doing right now because it's an extra cost and an added expense. We can always use a substitute and get it done. See, for me, it is more of if we are in a position where everything goes back to normal and we're as usual packed on a weekend and things of that sort. I'm
Right.
personally thinking I just can't wait to get into the kitchen and cook some food, man.
That's amazing. Yeah.
Seriously, have my grills running and have my charcoal grill running, have my wood fire at 400 degrees Celsius. We are sweating really, really badly. It's that freaking hot inside the kitchen. But then that satisfying feeling when people eat your food and they're like, "Yeah, we did something." That's what I think all of us miss, especially people who cook in the kitchen.
Yeah.
That's what I think we miss right now, right? But our priority wise, we would always make sure that one, we make sure that the food is going out the way it's supposed to go. We make sure that our service is done faster than what we are doing right now, and we'll make sure that everyone comes in and has a damn good time. Dude.
That's
That's the
great.
priority. Keep it simple.
Yeah, I mean, that's a really a beautiful way to look at it. Just simple. Stick to the roots and stick to the basics.
Stick to the roots,
The
definitely.
same, the same as it has always been. I mean, nothing
Always
too fancy, nothing too different. That's amazing.
nothing.
So Roshan, I mean, I'm sure a lot of people watching this, I know personally for a fact that some of the people that are watching this have at some time aspired to open a restaurant, or maybe they were just about to open a restaurant before the pandemic. Maybe they're still thinking about opening a restaurant after the pandemic is done, because food will never die. Restaurants will never go out of style, especially not in a place like Bangalore. What's your advice for them?
See, I would always see my experience with running the whole entire place would be a simple advice, right? It's just going to be very simple. Keep your costs low when you start. That's it. Keep your overheads really low because you can always expand, but you don't want to expand and then have a really small place later on, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
when people start off with a restaurant size of maybe 1,500 square feet, you have more control over it. The amount of
Got it,
staff
got
that you
it.
require, the electricity bills, your overheads basically are very low. You start off with a very low overhead. Whether you want to start even tomorrow, I would be like, yeah, if you have the finances set for it, pre-COVID, you were ready to go. I would say all the best. I mean, like, you can do
Yeah,
it. If you put your mind to it, you can. But keep your costs low.
sure,
That's what I would say.
sure.
Because every rupee that you save is going into your pocket.
Yeah,
Whether it
yeah.
be with regards to your vendors, whether it be regards to your employees' salaries, your electricity bill, whatever it is, you keep your costs low, you will survive.
That's great. So keep it small again. I mean, keep it
Keep it
simple.
small,
Start
keep it simple.
small. And expansion will happen over a period of time.
Expansion will happen. You see, we started Giselle, I think, with around 10 employees, not 10. We had 8 employees when we opened, right? And till March, we had around 15. Before the pandemic came and closed down, we had around 15 employees. So as the
Right.
business had grown that way, we had the
Yeah.
requirements for having so many more people work with us, and it made sense for us to do that extra hire, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because see, like if you're going to start a restaurant, you should look into giving accommodation to your staff. So the place that you
Yeah.
require for them to stay, your rent that you have to pay there, it's all going to go high. Your staff food cost is going to go high. There's a lot of other criteria that fall into place, right? So if you start off small, all these costs and things that come with you running a restaurant will be much lesser than if you start
Right.
small.
Right.
And especially in a time like this, if anyone wants to start up a restaurant, I would honestly say whether it is Indiranagar, Koramangala, the busiest street as well, if you keep your costs low, you will build up in the next few years.
That's great. That's great. We just got another comment that came in from Ahana Ruth Pinto. She says that Giselle has a really fun stand-up comedy night. So there you go. Can you talk a little bit about that? These little events that you do
Yeah,
in your restaurant.
so we have a dedicated stage kind of a setup that we have kept for this to happen.
Okay.
So again, the reason that we did this is we wanted to make sure that we have certain amount of people who are looking for opportunities, whether it's musicians, whether it be comedians and stuff like that.
Mm,
Run. We ran a lot of open mic shows. We
I
did a
see.
lot of open mic comedy, a lot of open mic music that happened, and all of these shows were packed, right? So all of these things was to just promote local artists. We got musicians there. Uh, Comedy was one of our weekly events. So every Friday night we had open mic comedy. It
Okay.
was by this comedian called Namit Jain. If you guys know him, good. If you don't, please go know him. He's good. He's funny, right?
Right.
So,
Right.
so he used to host all of our open mic comedies at Giselle and stuff like that. It was really fun.
Okay.
It was really nice because the whole place has that vibe to it. We wanted to
Yeah.
make sure that it was there. So we could have actually put a table there, but then we decided, what's the point? We had a table built as well. So we have a spare table that is right now on the roof of the restaurant as well.
I
So
see.
we
Okay.
have we had the space there, but then we decided no, let's just put a stage there, a nice small stage setup to have all these live events that happen. Because
Right.
we had issues with the music live event banning and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So at that time, most of it went down the drain. But comedy used to still happen.
Sure. Sure.
Okay.
That's great. I mean, again, to that's information for me, plus for everyone watching. Also, is that Giselle is so much more of an experiential place, and yeah, like you said, it's a killer vibe. That sort of it's a cafe. You have fantastic food, very close knit. The close knit like a community where everyone's sort of participating. That's fantastic. So, Roshan, I want to ask you one final question for the day, and not really a question, but I'm pretty sure a lot of the audience that's watching right now, as like clearly like Basha and Ahana, who are already your patrons, I'm sure a lot of other your own customers are going to be watching this. What do you have to say to them? What's the message that you want to give to all your customers?
Uh, See, the thing is that right now, all of you guys need to know that we are in a really difficult place, right? As a restaurant, myself, not only me, there are so many of us who are in really, really bad states. I understand all the dangers that come with eating outside and going outside and all that, but I would suggest that if it's possible, maybe you guys take a break from cooking as well. Go to your closest restaurant, the people that you like. Maybe just order something, take it away for yourself. You know, do that. That supports us in ways that you really don't know how precious that 500 rupees for us is right now. That's
Right.
what I would say. So even if it is, see, I'm not the type of person who's going to come and tell you, listen, just come to my restaurant, eat my food, and go. No, 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 not like that. Whoever it is, even if it's your local dosa joint, or your chaat store that is close by, your favorite restaurant that is there, ignore the multinational companies, but the local guys who are standing by their own feet and getting things done, support them in any way that is possible. Even if it's a local bakery picking up a loaf of bread and things of that sort. See, these are things that our industry needs, because as of now, we've got absolutely no support from anyone else, right? I'll tell you guys, like, the way we survived that whole entire lockdown was because of those 3,000 buns that we sold, right? 3,000 buns that we sold paid our bills. Things like that is what is going to keep us alive. And I'm pretty sure that everyone, see, like, you would have your favorite place that you celebrated your birthday. Maybe if you're married, the place that you proposed to your wife or your husband, a perfect date night that you guys went out with your girlfriends, or a awesome family dinner that you guys had. See, these are the places that are actually struggling right now. Those memories that you have will be in a verge that you will lose these memories. You lose these places to create new memories. So whatever you guys can do, just go out, maybe eat something there, or pick up food for home. That's how you can support all of us. The restaurant industry as a whole, not only Giselle. Yeah.
That's a very beautiful message, Roshan, and I'm sure that everyone who heard that it's really sort of taken that in. So, on that note, Roshan, I think that it's been such an absolute pleasure to talk to you. This time that we spent talking has been very enriching for me, because I think that this is the first conversation that I'm having with someone who not only owns the restaurant but is also inside the kitchen making the food. So there's so much of a passion element that's involved in here. So it's a really special conversation specifically for me, and I absolutely cannot wait to come and meet you face to face.
Definitely.
Grab that pint, that nice cold pint, have some chicken wings, and just talk. Just talk about everything that's going on.
We don't sell alcohol here, okay? So no pint here. Huh? I'm just
We'll have the chicken wings at Giselle, then we'll push off and get a pint somewhere
get a
else.
pint somewhere else. Yes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sure, sure, absolutely, absolutely. So, anyways, thank you so much, Roshan. Thanks so
Thank you
much
so
for
much
the
for
time
having
that you
me.
spent. Yeah,
Sure.
we'll definitely connect soon. And here's you. Cheers. Take care, and all the very best. All the very best to you.
Thank you.
All
See you
right.
guys.
Cheers. Bye bye. Bye bye.
Bye.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. I really do want to say that this was very much a different conversation that I personally have had with during the hard talk, specifically because, like I said, it's such a passion-driven thing. Smaller restaurants, cafes, your local cafe, your local restaurant. These people are in a difficult place, but as you can see, they have their heads held high. There is so much of hope. There's so much of positivity in the industry, and they all know that that everyone is going to come back with such a huge, big bang. And the core of all of this here is community, right? So all of these restaurants, the way that Roshan was speaking throughout this entire time, it's that it's an entire close knit community. It's he's in there preparing food for himself, for the customers that he wants to serve. It's and for him and so many restaurants alike, it is an extended family sort of situation. So do support these restaurants, all of your favorite restaurants. Try to do more takeaways. Try to be there and be there with them, talk to them about their food, eat their food, and show them that you also still care, because they certainly care about all of you. So with that, I'd like to sign off at this point of time. Thank you everybody for tuning in. For everyone who's left comments, thank you very much. Please do share this page with all of your friends. Follow Giselle Restocafe on Instagram. They have some fantastic stuff on there. And yeah, that's me. That's been my time. My name is Crystal Wilfred. I am one of the founders at Receptio, and I will see you guys next time on the Hard Talk. Cheers. Have a wonderful evening.
As always, please feel free to call us or write to us on the information given below. We'd like to hear your thoughts, questions, and feedback. If you do know of someone who could add value to the industry, please do nominate them.